Outsourcing everything. How and where. Why do so many aspiring internet marketers fall flat on their faces again and again? It's a rough note to start on, but it's important that you are well informed so that you can avoid the pitfalls that I'm about to discuss. There's one school of thought that says the market is flooded with crap, useless, outdated junk, peddled by wannabes and rich, heartless masterminds set on squeezing every dollar from their customers. There's another school of thought that says there's a mindset problem, that most people don't have the mental and emotional training needed to make it as a business person. Both camps are wrong. Let's assume the best possible conditions on both sides. Smart customers being guided by savvy, caring gurus who know all about affiliate marketing and are eager to teach all of this to each of their students. In a category of writing, that would include writing, articles, main site, articles for the directories, and press releases. In media design, it would be for videos, graphics, website design, and WordPress. In promotion, it would be for backlinking, blog commenting, and content marketing. In customer relations, it would be social media, mailing list, making free stuff, and getting testimonials. And in research, it would be in competition, keywords, your products, fixing bugs, and the affiliate marketing industry. The money's all yours if you can do all that. What you're looking at here is more like a sick practical joke than a credible marketing plan. The art of delegation. One of the problems with the internet marketing industry is that teaching is a linear action. In Chapter 1, you might learn about writing content. In Chapter 2, you might learn about SEO. If you break the many tasks that go into affiliate marketing down in this kind of way, it seems pretty simple, right? The problem is that the actual process of affiliate marketing usually isn't a step-by-step like in a book or instructional video. You're doing a lot of things at once over a long period of time, and if you fall behind, you can lose quite a bit emotionally and financially. If you want to be one of the handful of people who actually make it in the affiliate marketing place that's getting more and more competitive, you can't rely on being a one-person operation. That's tough no matter how dedicated you are, and even tougher if you've got a day job, classes, or a child. Remember that even Superman had the Justice League. Imagine a task that you have to complete as a marketer as a set of papers on your desk. If you're doing them by yourself, it's a big pile that's going to leave you irritated by the end. And if something happens to you, you get sick, or you're bad at one of the tasks, or life gets in the way, then those tasks don't go anywhere. That's called the single point of failure, and it can be disastrous. Now, let's add a single full-time outsourcer to the equation. Suddenly, you've got more options. You can outsource all of the things that you aren't good at, or things that require equipment that you don't have. You're still hiring that outsourcer and evaluating their work, but you've dramatically reduced your workload and added an extra point of failure. Now, imagine that you're paying a small amount of money to 10 different people who are all working on different aspects of your business. Not full-time, mind you, just a gig or two when the need arises. Now you've got a lot of smaller points of failure, but unlike the first couple of examples, one or two screw-ups isn't going to derail your business. And perhaps more importantly, you've got the best people that you can find working on tasks that they specialize in. In the internet economy, chances are that these specialists are doing well enough at their individual job that they are making a full-time living at it. But this isn't the full picture either. Obviously, getting the time and talent of other people doesn't come without a price unless perhaps you're opening a family business, and who wants to share all of your profit with the family anyways? Most people think of outsourcing as something you can only do once you're already financially independent and have some money to throw around, a stage 2 aspect of your business, if you will. This was an immutable fact of the internet business until about 10 years ago. The internet makes hiring help a lot easier. You might be thinking that with the economy as bad as it is, you don't have enough money to hire help. But the fact is that with the economy as bad as it is, you can't afford not to. It's a buyer's market out there, and when the economy is in bad shape, it means that you can get services and help at rock-bottom prices. Leveraging is the most critical skill an entrepreneur can have, and it can deliver exponentially more powerful results than just working really hard yourself. If you live in the first world and have any income at all, you owe it to yourself to hire as much help as possible. Even the price of a pizza or two is enough to get some really valuable stuff done for your business. It is important to delegate. Take all of the knowledge that you've taken from books, videos, and e-courses, and be the brains of your business, and put as much as you can into letting others execute the details. Now that said, I don't want you to think of outsourcing in a negative way, or think of it as exploiting someone else's work. You aren't closing down a factory or laying off 1,000 steel workers. You're hiring people, some of whom will be based in the U.S., that you probably couldn't afford to pay under any other circumstance. And you're going to take your earnings and spend them on local products and services, not to mention giving the government a share. It's really a win-win. Best of all, outsourcing doesn't always mean that you're getting a human to do the job. There are heaps of services and pieces of software that take the place of any kind of manual labor. They aren't always as useful as a real person, but they do save time. Now, let's jump right into the world of outsourcing and talk about what you can get done, and just as importantly, where to look and how to evaluate talent. Writing. Good content is obviously central to your affiliate site because it pops up in so many different places. In the online world, the written word generates leads, entertains them, and lets them know that you're the best person to give them whatever they need. Good articles generate backlinks and buzz in any niche, but you're not always looking to enlighten a general audience. Sometimes you want to reach a more specific set of people. That's where it is smart to outsource tasks like press releases. It takes both connections and an intimate knowledge of what triggers editorial gatekeepers to get the wide distribution for a press release, and a smart PR team can do both. Even if you're on a tight budget, getting help writing and distributing press releases gets you in touch with someone who knows how to grab eyeballs and where to put your material. Best of all, pros in this industry are really experienced in getting attention, even from unlikely niches. Before you decide to write off press releases because your niche is unsexy or flooded, remember that coverage in the media is always about having an interesting angle. Media design. A great-looking web presence depends on a combination of technical skill and artistic wizardry. If you don't have both, it's tough to make an impression with your site. Most people already use the help of others when it comes to designing their site, using pre-made templates available online. But there are lots of times when you need something more personal. Buttons, banners, and e-covers for special reports are all small and expensive ways to show your value, convey trust, and scoop up the sale. You shouldn't limit your outsourcing ideas to 2D graphics. Videos are incredibly good for your site, particularly because people who watch videos stay on your site longer, and partially because Google is determined to meet the demand of people who are looking more and more for quality video. The demand for watchable content is really outstripping the supply. SEO. Getting a helping hand with SEO is a complete no-brainer. Whether people start their day typing your product directly into the search engine, or look on social media and Web 2.0 sites for a little inspiration, it's essential for your website to be at or near the top. Great content can go a long way towards getting you there, but a dedicated SEO specialist can really help you stir the pot and get more visibility. Best of all, SEO is a universal language. A lot of the work of backlinking can be done even without an amazing command of English, which opens you up to the services of a lot of amazing talent from the Philippines and India. SEO covers such a wide range of activities, it almost seems unfair to give it in one section. But everything is inside this category. All of it plays a role if you want to make a noise in SEO. Blog entries, wiki posts, podcasting, social bookmarking, RSS distribution, directories, article distribution, and more. Where to go and what to know. Those are a lot of the tasks, but where should you go when you're looking for help? Here are a few of my favorite sources. Fiverr. Fiverr is full of people who need cash right now and are willing to do a task for you. Plenty of people turn their noses up at Fiverr and say, how can you get anything for value for that little money? Well, that's a foolish way to think. The web is full of people who need the bucks, and in business, everything is worth what the seller can sell it for. So if you need a quick infusion of money, or you're a pretty girl who is afraid of computers, or you don't have the skills to promote your product, your service is worth $5. There aren't a lot of better places to go for cheap services than Fiverr, especially for the simple SEO gigs that I've recommended here. So here's some things to know about Fiverr. Don't fall in love with the reviews and thumbs up. Again, everybody asks for feedback, and plenty of people give positive feedback when they aren't being that critical about a service. You need to actually talk to people and use common sense. If they've got a lot of orders in the queue and the gig requires a lot of manual work, you might need to be patient or skip them altogether. Don't be afraid of new gigs. Most people are slow to buy offers because they don't want to take risks on someone who isn't proven. But the fact is, by the time they are proven, they're charging more money and juggling more customers. Someone new is going to work really hard to build up a reputation, and you know they have time to do a good job. Buy the right thing. There are lots of people who will teach or show you how or give you a list of places to go and things to do. Tune this stuff out. It's mostly people selling you ebooks that they may or may not have written themselves. Maybe it's useful, maybe it isn't. You aren't going to find out from a Fiverr description though. Personally, I like to look for the word manual in my gigs so that I'm working with someone who is going to do the work by hand. Bigger numbers aren't automatically better. I stay away from gigs offering a lot of anything because I assume it's not going to be as high in quality. Don't get writing from Fiverr. Writing is credibility. Credibility is sales, and sales is money. This is one area where you can expect to get what you pay for. I strongly recommend that you hire a writer from a forum or go somewhere like Need an Article or Articles. Forum posting. There are a lot of worthwhile places to go for services. Places like the Warrior Forum, Wikifire, and Backlinks Forum are basically their own little economies. But I got my start in the Warrior Forum, so we are going to focus there. I found a lot of really skilled hires, many of whom eventually became partners along the way. There really isn't a lot of absolute crap on the Warrior Forum, but the difference between a service working and a service working well can be pretty great. Your main advantage in working on places like this is the high skill level of the workers. You're more likely to get pros who deal with a lot of orders and have already made a name for themselves there. Read their copy very carefully, spend a good amount of time comparing prices, and don't confuse quality graphics or even quality copy with a quality product. Look at the results delivered and be discriminating. There are way too many bought testimonials from suspiciously new members in a place like this. Finally, I don't have a problem buying newer gigs on Fiverr because it's a big marketplace doing small dollar amounts, which means service providers need to stand out from the start. I'm a little more hesitant to jump on the new threads in the Warrior Forum. There's such a massive user base that it's a bit more susceptible to fly-by-night operations that aren't exactly scams, but don't deliver high quality for the money. Freelancer, Odesk, and the rest. There are a couple of reasons why I like Freelancer.com. First of all, there's a very large pool of people that you can choose from, and they're quick to jump on jobs. The time between your posting project and the time that bids fill up your screen is very short. On average, you will have a handful of good offers within an hour of making a job post. You can pick from a list of candidates that you personally interviewed, you can decide how you will pay them, and you don't have to pay them until you're fully satisfied that the job is done. Funds are usually held in escrow while you wait. You're also free to cancel projects that you don't feel are working well for you. Second, they're rock bottom when it comes to price. They are very inexpensive. If you live in the first world and you have a job, you can afford to hire from there. Third, it's very easy to see other gigs that people are assigning and hiring for, so that you can take inspiration and copy them. One of the most useful things about Freelancer is the milestone system. If you ever have a large task that you need to break up into a lot of smaller tasks, you can set milestones, paying your freelancers along the way. This protects you from stress and uncompleted jobs, and protects them from the hassle of waiting a long time for a payment. I'm a big fan of Freelancer.com, and it's where I do the vast majority of my hiring, but the fact is, your screening process is much more important than the site that you use, or the country that you hire from. Take your time in the hiring process. Screen, and screen some more. I know your instinct is just to grab somebody that seems pretty good and get things rolling as soon as possible, but it causes massive headaches in the long run, especially in a service-based business where people you hire aren't delivering and you've got to deal with a massive refund rate. Your job listing. One of the biggest problems I've seen on most outsourcing websites is the clients are not very clear about what they want. A clear set of instructions that are concise will lower mistakes and increase speed on your projects. It's also a serious benefit to the bidder because they'll have a better idea of what you need. You need to be firm, you need to be demanding, and you need to come off as about 20% more serious about business than you are in real life. Your goal is to scare off the people that are unserious. Here's an example. Important. Please read the entire post before applying. I'm looking for manual, drip-fed social bookmarking. You will target a list of 30 sites per page, dig, stumble upon, etc. I have a lot of orders, so a fast turnaround is important. Communication is important too. We'll need to communicate via the PMB regularly. Must be willing to discuss and share methods. I don't do personal payments, and I don't clear payments until work is verified. I usually order test packages before hiring to verify quality. Please use the word green in your sentence so I know you read through and understood it. You don't need a code word, but if you insist on it, don't put your code word in all caps or offset it with quotes. There's no need to draw attention to it. Either they can read or they can't. Remember though, the communication skills you need depend greatly on the task at hand. There's a school of thought that tells marketers to stick with hiring people from the Philippines because they have great English skills, are thrilled with getting a paycheck while they're in school, and aren't ambitious enough to steal your business plan. It's one of those things that sounds really impressive at first, and is a load of crap when you think about it. Even for something like making graphics or link building, you need good communication skills in order to understand what needs to be done. But you don't have to be a language snob because there's not as much customer interaction. I've worked with really cool people from Russia, India, and all the other quote-unquote bad neighborhoods online. What to screen for? As I get more and more busy with my internet marketing work, availability tends to become less and less important to me. I'm always busy, which means I don't always have time to look over everyone's shoulder. But when you're starting out, you should absolutely have access to the people that you're working with. Take everyone who didn't fill out your application properly and put them in the trash. It doesn't matter if they have the greatest feedback in the world. One of the problems with feedback is you're trusting that people giving the feedback know what the hell they're talking about, and really most people don't. Even in the best case scenario, the freelancer is breathing down their neck offering quid pro quo feedback before even evaluating the service. Ask plenty of questions. You want to know what software they're using, how long it takes, what their turnaround time is, how much volume they can handle. You're going to ask this for two reasons. First, you want to weed out the people who get really evasive and talk about their trade secrets. Second, you want to monitor the results. I've never had any luck with getting work samples until I have a bunch of feedback from other providers. You've got to think about it from the provider's perspective. There are a lot of people out there trying to get free samples of everything under the sun. It is kind of rude to ask someone who's been on a site for 3 years to spend time making free work for you, as if your $40 is breathtakingly important. Just hire them for a very small job and look at the results. It's so worth it to spend $100 up front on evaluation before getting in a relationship with anyone. You need to be very articulate about what you need done, especially if you're communicating with someone from a third world country. Idioms aren't going to go over well. You can't count on them to get the gist of what you're saying. Chances are they'll mess it up and you'll get mad at them. Ask them to rephrase what you said in their own words before they start, especially if their English is not good. I want you to give yourself a lot of time to evaluate before hiring someone, but I also want you to treat your time as valuable. Usually, a freelancer will private message you and ask for positive feedback and money the moment they finish the job. Don't be in a hurry to do this. Check out their work first and verify it. If it's a big job like backlinking, pick a few links out at random or run them through a backlink checker. There's a good free one on the Scrapebox website. If your work with a freelancer isn't working to expectations, don't hesitate to get your deposit back or cancel the order on Fiverr. Kicking them off your team doesn't mean the guy is a con artist. Maybe they're having a bad day or a bad series of days. It's much worse in the long run to let yourself get led on than it is to start fresh. Finally, when you start working with these guys, be sociable and respectful. First of all, that's how you should always conduct yourself in business. Second of all, almost any freelance specialist knows their craft better than you. Just because their English sucks doesn't mean that they're dumb. Third, those guys do a lot of volume. Your order, whatever the dollar amount, isn't worth their dignity or yours.